started.
All right. Hey, dear. All right, go. Get. Yeah. Yeah, she decided to get in our way. Well, welcome back, everybody. This is the second part to the one I did earlier about rock tumbling and tumbling glass. And I just wanted to do a follow-up to that. Kind of had some popular demand on that one. And so here is my finished product of the tumbled glass. So I'm going to have my Casey come on over here and zoom up on the tumbled glass and rocks. And your shadow's getting in.
Keeping my shadow in it on purpose.
Okay, all right. And anyway, there you see, you kind of have the glass here with that sandy or frosted look to it. And it's in a still, it looks like a bunch of broken pieces of glass. The nice thing is all the rough edges are cut off, so I don't have to worry about hurting myself when I do this. All right, so here's the lesson behind this, guys. I want you to think about this. In our last video, we talked about how Jeremiah had been told by God to go down to the potter and watch him, and that God had a lesson for him to share with Israel. And so Jeremiah went down there, and the potter was making something, and then all of a sudden he didn't like it, and he crushed it all up or smashed it all back together and started again making a new pot. And kind of how like God takes us, and he takes us, and sometimes he has to break us and reshape us. Well, the question is, what can you do with this glass? It's now in little tiny pieces, and of course we know that this can be used in a vase or the bottom of a fish tank to give it some decorative appeal. But something else can be done with this glass, and that is they take glass like this, they crush it all up, and they put it in, they take it to a recycling place. And in the recycling place, they take the crushed up glass and they melt it down, they add a few more ingredients to it, and they make new glass bottles or glass jars or whatever. And so you can see that recycled glass, now I have no idea if these are recycled or not, but you can see what happens to the glass. It's used to make new bottles or new glasses, and it can be used to make something beautiful. And so I got to thinking about that and wondering what the Bible said about recycling, and of course there's several verses, but this is the one that stood out to me, and it's from Revelation chapter 21. It says, "Now I saw a new heaven and a new earth, for the first heaven and the first earth had passed away. Also there was no more sea. Then I, John, saw the holy city, New Jerusalem, coming out of heaven from God, prepared as a bride adorned for her husband. And I heard a loud voice from heaven saying, Behold, the tabernacle of God is with men, and he will dwell with them, and they shall be his people. God himself will be with them and be their God." So, you know, when you read this and you read the surrounding chapters, you get this incredible picture of what's going to happen in the future. After this earth is destroyed and Jesus comes back to take his people back with him to heaven for 1,000 years, then after that 1,000 years is over, we get to come back with Jesus, and Jesus at that time totally recreates the entire world and makes it into something new. I believe that the atoms that made up this world to start with, that he's going to take those atoms apart and he's going to reform them into new elements and redo the entire earth. But it's also, you have to remember, this is also God's creative power. And so there's going to be some creating going on there. And so I look at this and I say, you know what? This is like the ultimate I told you so to evolution. You know, we get to actually be there and witness God doing the act of creation. It's going to be awesome. But in order to be there, people, we have to let him do a recreation on us first, because God wants to recreate our hearts and recreate what's on the inside so it reflects him. And then when he comes to take us home with him, he's going to show us all these wonders that we've wondered about for years, and he's going to give us a new heaven and a new earth to live in. That is going to be so awesome. And so this concludes, this is part 2 of the Rock Tumbler worship thought. And so I hope you guys have enjoyed. May God bless you.